What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another fantastic video. So tonight it's supposed to get down into the low 20s. We had snow yesterday, not that you can tell, it didn't really stick. We are in Mississippi the day before. Yesterday it was 76 degrees and yesterday it was snowing, so you know how that goes. There's a little left over in the woods, but besides that there's not really any snow left. It's just cold. We're going to be actually staying in the hammock tonight. I know that sounds insane, but we have got this OneTigris Underquilt that we're going to be mixing with the hammock. I do have my new straps, the tent stakes, because the other ones suck. And for our tools tonight, we are going to be using this 11-piece camping tool set from Ozarktrail. And when it comes to Ozarktrail stuff, sometimes it's super crap, sometimes it's super good. I can go ahead and tell you, go ahead and throw that sun gun in the trash. Those will be okay for some stuff. Comes with a knife, paracord that we're not going to be using, a compass, if it's even a decent compass, which is currently actually is pointing north, because north is that way, the way it's pointing, a hatchet with a fire starter and a whistle, and this saw. So we're going to be testing out that little kit, and we're going to be testing out the OneTigris Underquilt, along with, of course, my 0-degree sleeping bag. We should be able to stay nice and warm. Of course, we did finally get our upgrades of new straps and tent stakes. So I'm going to get camp set up before it gets dark, because I am running a little behind schedule. I kind of decided to do this last minute today, but I'm going to get the actual hammock and stuff set up, and then I'm going to worry about my fire. And tonight for dinner we are having bratwurst. Just some plain bratwurst on some hot dog buns, something simple and easy. And we are having the Dogfish Head Slight and Mighty IPA again, because that's probably one of my favorite IPAs, especially for it to be low-cal and me trying to lose the weight that I'm trying to lose, trying to get in better shape. So I'm going to get camp set up, and I'll see y'all in a little bit. Alright guys, so I got the hammock set up with the new straps. This one I still had to wrap, that one I didn't. I'm completely happy with that. I've got that OneTigris on here. When you sit in it, this all sinks in. It's super comfortable. I've tested it already. So it's on there. Got my 0-degree sleeping bag in there. And then out of that, I've got my chair. I've got my table and my cooler out, but my little fire pit grill out. Gonna use part of that cardboard with some dryer lint to help get my fire going here in a minute. But setting all of that up only took like 10 minutes. So it's just as fast as setting up a tent, if not faster. I used the hatchet to clear a little bit of brush, use it to drive my tent stakes. It's a good little hatchet, but if you put the saw in there, it does rattle, but the saw does store in the handle. And I was actually really surprised at how well this knife feels in the hand, how comfortable this knife is. And it has a little stupid sharpening stone on the top and a little crappy belt clip. The knife itself, though, feels really, really good in the hand. Like I said, I would throw this in the trash. Comes with a cheap-ass compass. It is very cheap. Rattles a whole lot. Don't know if I would rely on this. So far, it's been pointing true north every time I've used it. In the axe carrying handle, it has this ferricium rod that's also a whistle. So this is what we're going to attempt to use to get our fire started off of that lint. I've got to gather some tinder, finish setting up camp, and then we'll get to that. But for the base price of that kit being $20, or I'm sorry, $30, I got it for $20, $10 off, because it's one of their Christmas items that they sell, package items they sell. So far it's pretty good. I mean, the knife was actually sharp, The hatchet is actually fairly sharp too. And it's worked for everything I put it through so far. I haven't tested the saw. The compass continues to point true north. This you throw away. These break. I mean, you can attempt to use it. They're going to break. It's going to overheat. It's going to break. This is going to break. So I'm not worried about that. I'm going to finish setting up camp. I'll see you guys in a minute. So I'm going to do my best to get this, lighting this fire off this ferricium rod right here, using the lint in this box on camera. Hopefully it works. Hope I've got it. Okay. All right. See right there? We've got it. No cuts. All right, so the ferrocerium rod and the lint, just good old regular dryer lint, has got this fire started. I'm gonna sit here and baby it with this tinder, get it going real good, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't lose the ferrocerium rod, because I currently actually don't know what I did with it. Ooh, that's warm. I did actually have to hike in firewood this time because all mine's wet. I'm gonna see if I can just lay this piece up there and maybe it'll start burning. But I'm gonna feed it this little stuff to help it get going. We've got the cardboard, all of that, and this wood's good and dry. I had to buy it, but just because everything I had is done. I mean, it's just soaking wet from all the snow and rain we've had the last few days. All right, so nothing more than the trash from that kit, the lint from my dryer, and that little ferrocerium rod that came with it, that kit, and we've got our fire going. And some I used some twigs and stuff. You can see them still burning down here, and it's got this fire up and going. The only thing I do not like so far about this knife that came with that kit is the sheath itself. When you go to put this on your belt stops here, and then all this sticks up way above my hip, makes it uncomfortable to wear. I'm just carrying it in my pocket. The stone, I don't know how good the little sharpening stone in there is going to be, but the knife itself is a full tang knife with a rubber grip handle, no serrations, so it's not serrated at all, which I like a lot. It's actually very sharp, and it worked just fine to strike that ferrocerium rod. And it's really comfortable in the hand. It feels good in the hand, and so far I like it a lot. Now only time is going to tell how well this little knife holds up. I think I might have rolled, let me see. No, I didn't roll the edge using that ferrocerium rod. I used the actual blade of the knife for that. I couldn't seem to get it to strike off the back. And that could have been my fault. I don't know. But it's a very sharp knife. It's very comfortable in the hand, and it seems to work well. You can see that's probably where I strike that ferrocerium rod. But as I can look at it, there's no damage to the blade. It's still razor sharp. Like I said, Ozarktrail stuff is hit or miss. I like the knife a lot. The sheath, the belt clip, leaves something to be desired. I think I might make a leather sheath for it and see how well the knife holds up, because just the way the knife fits in this, it sits it too high up on the hip, makes it uncomfortable to wear. It needs like a leather longer sheath, so it sits at your belt line instead of sitting up on your hip, or digs into your hip when you squat. But it worked to get the fire going. So far that kit has worked well. The hatchet worked well. The compass seems to be pointing where it should be. It's still a super cheap compass, not one I feel like I would want to rely on to save my life, but it is working. The knife's sharp. I need to test the saw that fits in the handle of it, and then it came with paracord. I'm not worried about the little wire saw. That's some bull crap. I will never use one. They're trash. Every one I've ever used is broken, so I pretty much throw this thing in the trash, use it to make a snare, whatever, just untangle it and make fishing line out of it. I don't care what you do with it. Relying on it as a saw, this isn't going to work, especially when it came with a handsaw that I will test in the morning. For now though, I'm going to continue to baby this fire till it gets really going, and I'm going to get around to cooking some dinner soon. And I'll give you guys a temp update here in just a little bit. Alright, so I have the fire good and going, and I kind of want to talk about why my fire is so far away from my shelter and stuff like that. I am not relying on this fire to keep me warm when I sleep. It is just kind of something I can cook over, I can hang out around, and it keeps me warm while I'm hanging out around it, and it kind of gives me something to do. When it comes to the shelter, what I'm relying on in that shelter to keep me warm is the reflective side of the tarp that goes over it, to reflect some of my body heat back on me, that 0 degree sleeping bag, and that OneTigris Underquilt. And that's one of the things we're out here to test today. I do not expect this fire to keep that shelter warm. It's not close enough, and in all honesty, I feel like all that would go up in flame very easily if I was to have the fire too close. I'm not relying on the fire because I don't want to have to get up in the middle of the night to stoke the fire, to deal with the fire. So I'm trying to find ways to stay warm without having to rely on a heat source. And that's what we're testing today. So far, I know that that 0 degree sleeping bag has kept me warm in any temperature that I've been in with it. The OneTigris thing I've never tested. The wool blanket is in there. I'm using it as a pillow tonight because I didn't bring one. And the tarps just kind of keep me dry more than anything. So with the temperature supposed to drop the way it is tonight, and it's already been dropping, is the reason I put my beanie on, zip my jacket up. Hopefully all that keeps me nice and warm. When it comes to my jacket, this is the only jacket I've got on. Under it, I've got a t-shirt on. And this is an extremely warm, cheap jacket. It is a Swiss Tech jacket. You can buy them at Walmart, a little puffer jacket. And it's one of the warmest jackets that I have ever worn, period. Other than that, I've got a pair of jeans on and a pair of boots and some socks. And I'm warm. I mean, I'm probably 4 or 5 or 2 or 3 feet away from the fire. I'm nice and warm. This jacket is fantastic for like the $25 that it is at Walmart. I wear it all the time. It's in a lot of my videos, and I'm absolutely in love with it as an outdoor kind of camping jacket. It's one of the warmest I've ever worn. Short of like wearing an actual winter coat. It's super light, lets you move around really well. The stows in itself, it'll pack up into its own little pocket on the inside. It's a great jacket. Besides that, like I said, we're testing out that OneTigris tonight. The fire is not to keep me warm, it's to cook over and to hang out around until it's time to go to bed. So don't worry about the fire and how far it is from the shelter. The fire is not what I rely on to keep myself warm. It's just a means to cook and give me something to do and hang out around while I'm awake. I mean, I guess I could lay in the hammock all night, watch movies or whatever, but that's not the point of this. And eventually I'd run out of movies or run out of whatever or just get bored. And the point of being outdoors is not to sit around and watch movies. Even though I have enough cell phone service where I'm at, I could probably watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever. The point is to test the gear, see if the gear works, and give you guys good content on that gear. And the fire, so I have something to eat. So, I mean, I could easily pull out my backpack stove, cook, eat, and then lay in the hammock all night. But that's no fun for me. And for these videos to be as long or as short as they are, you guys get the content I want to show you, and that's it. And if I don't have something to do the rest of the time, it gets, I wouldn't say boring, but I like to have things to occupy my time. And the fire, I like watching the fire. I like dealing with the fire. That is my entertainment while I'm out here making these videos for y'all. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to enjoy this beautiful fire and wait until it's time to go, or wait until it's time to cook, and then we'll go to sleep over yonder. And if y'all want to know, this light right here, the blue light you can see here is the power bank it's running off of. This light right here is like $15-20 from AutoZone, and it comes with these little orange wraparound things that you can help hang it with. So far, it has been an awesome light. And you may have to check a couple of AutoZones because every one I go in seems to be different. They have different lights for different things, and I have not found another one, even though I've been looking for one, because I'd like to have 2 of them. But off that Energizer power bank that it runs off of, it'll run almost all night on low. I don't know how long it'll run on high. Normally I run it on low, but they're a fantastic little light. I use them catfishing at night. I use them camping, obviously, and I haven't had any issues out of them. I mean, me and my nephew camped for probably right at 3 days, and off one power bank, that light burned all night long. So it's holding up pretty good for 15 or 20 bucks. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I'll try to link it in the description if I can find it, along with the Ozarktrail kit, this jacket, and anything else I use tonight. So we'll see. Well, along with the hammock and the OneTigris, that'll also be linked. And the 0 degree sleeping bag, if I can find it again, because it did go up on price and then it was out of stock, so I'll have to see if I can find it. But I'll have all that linked in the description for you guys, so you can pick it up for yourselves, test it out, see how you like it. So we've got them brats cooking. You got a little bit of that beer in there, because you can't have brats if you're gonna cook them in a pan without beer. As you can see, I have 2 of these pans. I absolutely love these pans. They're fairly cheap from Walmart. They fold up good, they clean easy, they don't really stick very much, and I just absolutely love them. That's also where this grate came from. It's also a Walmart grate, both of which will also be linked in my description if you want to check them out. So the reason I have 2 is because I was cooking something and realized I needed a lid for this, and I couldn't find anything that I like to use as a lid. I tried to use one of my plates and they melted and all of that, so I figured the best way to make a lid for it was to buy another one. And just like that, I've got a lid. So I'm gonna let these cook for a little while, and I told you guys that you would get a temperature update. It is currently 29 degrees out here. It is supposed to get down to be approximately 21 tonight after checking the Weather Channel. So it's gonna be nice and cold, and hopefully the shelter holds up and everything, and I stay really warm. But link to all the gear that I'm using out here, for the most part, will be in my description. Everything I ordered off Amazon will be. If I can find the stuff I bought at Walmart, it'll be on here too. If not, just check your Walmart's local camping section, and that's where you should be able to find it. But the shelter, so far, holding up great. I did hang out in there for a little bit just to kind of test it out. It does seem like it's going to be nice and warm. But now I'm getting started on supper. It's about 8 o'clock at night. So hopefully by about 8:30 we'll be eating. I'm not sure if I'm going to put these on buns. I did bring buns, or just squirt some mustard in there and eat them. I haven't decided yet. But the fire's going good. It's keeping me warm. And I'm just enjoying my time out here in nature, and I highly just suggest that all of y'all get out and you go do some camping with your kids or your family, or even by yourself. It's great for the soul, great for the mind. So the brats are cooking up nicely. They've evaporated all the beer. The lid worked the way it was supposed to. I'm gonna let them cook for just a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna slide this away, vamp my fire back up. I'm gonna smash on this. After I get done eating, I'll see you guys inside the shelter, where I'm going to settle in for the night and hopefully stay warm throughout all of it. Because since it is supposed to be down to about 21, it did end up getting cold enough I had to add another underlayer to my jacket. I mean, I'm warm. I'm completely warm currently, and I'm just wearing blue jeans, boots, and this jacket with that little pullover underlayer and my beanie. But laying down sleeping, we all know that goes a different way because I'll have to pull the jacket off. Hopefully be able to keep the underlayer on and try to slide inside of a suspended sleeping bag, pretty much, because it's inside that hammock. And hope that OneTigris Underquilt and the sleeping bag do their job to keep me warm. And I assume they will, but, you know, considering that sleeping bag's supposed to be rated to 0 degrees, the OneTigris thing will keep the wind off of me. We'll just see how it goes. I'll see y'all inside the shelter in a little while. Okay, guys. So I'm tucked up in the shelter. I'm in my sleeping bag. So far, the hardest part about sleeping in a hammock is always getting in the sleeping bag. For some reason, it always takes me forever to get wrapped up in this thing, get it all zipped up. Like I said, I have the OneTigris hammock underquilt on it, and hopefully I stay nice and warm. Took my jacket off, so I'm just wearing that underlayer. I have my beanie on still, probably keep it on all night, and we'll probably just slide down into the sleeping bag as far as I can, and hopefully stay warm and sleep good. I do like sleeping in hammocks. I normally find them very comfortable, so hopefully that works out. Like I said, I forgot a pillow, so I'm using this wool blanket as a pillow. It's working out just fine. Other good thing about sleeping in a hammock is you really don't need a pillow. You kind of sleep right, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, it kind of just supports your head just right. But I wanted something to keep me from having to lay directly on the hammock material. So I've got that going on. Besides that, that's about it. I have the tarp really low tonight on top of the hammock to help hold in my body heat, due to it being just so cold out. And I mean, even the underside of the tarp is actually frosted. It's frosted on both sides. It's currently 27 degrees, supposed to get down to 21. We'll see if it makes it that low. But yeah, I'm just gonna curl up in here and I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'll see y'all in the morning for coffee and the rest of those bratwursts. I'll heat them back up, get the fire back going, and then we'll talk about the shelter and see how it did. This is the coldest night I've stayed out here. Coldest night I've ever slept in a hammock. So hopefully between the 0 degree sleeping bag and the OneTigris Underquilt, we stay nice and warm. So I'll see y'all in the morning. Oh, good morning, guys. So it was a long night. I didn't get cold. I slept great. The shelter worked out fantastically. The upgrades we made were perfect. I like the straps a lot better. I like the hold downs a lot better. None of them came out last night. The OneTigris Underquilt worked really well. And the 0 degree sleeping bag worked great as always. Everything I use in this video is going to be linked in the description below. I thank you for all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Y'all stay frosty, and I'll see you next time.